Bluff City NIL is an official partner of Coaching for Literacy, a nonprofit organization using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. You can read more about them at coachingforliteracy.org or follow them on social media at Coaching for Literacy. Your donations to Bluff City NIL are 100% tax deductible because of our partnership together. So thank you for supporting Memphis Tiger student athletes and helping promote the monumental cause of childhood literacy.
Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
We back, Tej. Episode 26. Back from the beach. The vacation was too fast. You're on week 2 of a father of 2.
Yeah.
How tired are you right now? On a scale of 1 to dad is real tired, where are you at?
I'm going to settle at like a 3 or a 4. Honestly, she's a great sleeper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
About 6 hours, maybe sometimes touching 7.
What is great?
Not bad.
What is great sleeper? 6 or 7 hour. What's our longest stretch we're talking?
Ooh, probably a little over 3. I think we've maybe I have hit like 5. My wife has been very sweet. I have probably gotten up to 5, but typically I think about 3 hours is about where we're at now.
That's not bad for 2 weeks in.
No, can't complain at all. She's a good sleeper.
Those newborn stages, it's just survive and advance. Our buddy Jacob and I, that's all we talk. You just survive and advance in that stage. It feels like an eternity when you're in it, but in reality, it's really not that long, you know?
Not that bad.
So,
Not that bad.
well, here's to many more restful nights in your future, Tej. All right, if you guys tuned in last week, TJ and I teased, we just said tune in for the beer. And we didn't really sound like we were too much looking forward to it, but I got to be honest, TJ, I'm in a little bit of a desserty mood tonight. I don't know we had egg roll in a bowl for dinner. I don't know if you ever had that. And afterwards I was like, I want some chocolate. And so this is sounding pretty good right now. So show the good folks at home what we're working with this eve.
Yeah, man. We got the Memphis made Andy's Mint.
Andy's Mint. Chocolate milk stout with mint. 5.4% alcohol.
All right.
I'm getting it. There's chocolate and there's a splash of mint in there.
Whoa. Don't give it away. Spoilers.
I'm just saying.
It's on my nose.
There was a heavy foam, and that is a dark, as it should be, a chocolate milk stout. It's a dark brew.
I think
just changed the oil in my lawnmower earlier today, and it looked very similar to that.
Yes.
I might have picked up the wrong can. Right now, I don't know.
I can see the confusion. It definitely looks like it. Looks the part for sure.
Gosh, I don't know how I feel about that. So stick in for the full episode to find out what TJ and I rate this. I don't know if I'm in that desserty of a mood, but we'll see. All right, Tej. Transfer portal, B-ball. It's officially closed. And you know what we had? We finally got yes, on our end. But we finally got an answer from old Malco.
Yeah.
And he threw his name in the hat. He's portaling.
I get it.
Which I think was to be expected, right?
Sure.
It just seemed like both parties were ready to kind of head in a different direction. Now, I will say, just because you put your name in the portal doesn't mean you can't come back. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying.
Sure.
There's always a possibility. So now, Tej, we are real thin at the 5. For those of you at home who were anticipating Malco being the starting center, or maybe he and Chandler combining, you're down big time with no light at the end of the tunnel, at least for right now.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's so hard to talk because to formulate just something on it because it's so frustrating and yet so relieving at the same time. I think a lot of fans have kind of had their highs and lows with Malcolm, right? If you watch Will's show, Will Coleman's show, he talks about how Malcolm used to just dog James Wiseman in practice. And then you've seen flashes of him in games where you're like, this dude's got it. Like he can be something. And it's just never consistent enough, or he's not healthy enough. And it just seems like it has been a never ending story of what if with Malcolm. And
What
I'm with
if?
you. I
Yep.
think, yeah, I think
I mean,
it's best for both parties just to split up and move on.
I think that's the perfect definition of Malco's career is just what if, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just, with injuries, I don't know that his heart and his head were always in the right spot. But you're right. There were flashes. He showed potential at times. I mean, there were times it felt like down low he was a real force to be reckoned with. And then there were other times where my guy couldn't inbound the ball or wasn't grabbing a board or was shooting 30% from the free throw line. But he's a good kid. I wish him nothing but the best, appreciative of his time spent here. But I think it's best for both parties to kind of move on. Now, what that does, leaving the gap that we talked about at the 5, I don't know where you go, right? One of the names that had been floating out there that we know we had reached out to, it came out was Musa, but he's not coming home. Now you got Musa and Jamarian Sharp down there in Oxford, and that's a game I'm not looking forward to right now because I don't know that we'll score the basketball, at least not in the paint. You throw both of those boys out there.
Towers, man.
So I don't know where we go. I think there were some reports we'd reached out to Kansas center who had entered the portal, Ernest Uday. It looks like I think he's on a visit to Duke right now. So Duke might be the team to beat. And even where it sounds like our NIL is sitting, I don't know that you're beating Duke for somebody.
Yeah, the problem with him is that everybody wants him, right? The moment he hit the portal, everybody started calling. It's a long list of suitors.
Yeah.
It was always going to be an uphill battle on that one.
I mean, I think looking at it right now, at least from who's still available, he's probably the best available center right now that's in the portal, right?
Depending on what you're looking for, I could see the argument being made. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, On3's got him as the best available. Evan Maya's got him a 5-star, 19th overall in the transfer portal. So we'll see. We've reached out, but like I said, he's on a visit to, I think it's Duke right now. So would be very impressive if you're able to beat the Blue Devils.
Sure.
For him. Now, reports today have come out that we did reach out. I've been heavily involved with, and I hope that I'm saying this right, Seton Hall transfer Femi Odukali. Is that how you Odukali?
Odukali is probably what I would say. Yeah.
He's a scoring point guard, I guess, ball handling scorer. So I'd play the 1 or 2, maybe alongside Caleb there, but 6'6". Problem is, Tej, he's a 2-time transfer already. Played 2 years at Pitt, played last year at Seton Hall. I mean, do you risk, we've talked about it before, but do you dabble in the 2-time transfer area and risk dealing with another DeMaria situation? Or even where, I mean, I think they crank down even harder on 2-time transfers, going forward. So it's like, and I don't think, I could be wrong, I do not think that he is a grad transfer. He's listed as a junior. He's only played 3. I guess he could have graduated in 3 years, but would need confirmation on that.
Yeah, it's definitely another situation where it took way too long to get a waiver the last time around. It's just not something I would rely on, right? I think the one thing that we have all stated last year with Mars is like, man, it'd have been great to have him sooner. It would have been great to get him in there with the guys working out sooner, and you couldn't because you were still waiting on a waiver. Granted, that was a little bit different of a situation, right? I think that UIC was being a little bit difficult in that one as well.
Yeah.
It's the same argument, though. I don't think you want to get in a situation where you need a guy to have a waiver for him to be eligible, and then you end up burning that. You have that scholarship taking up essentially. Then the guy's not eligible. What do you do in that situation? Do you get a special mid-year scholarship that you can fill that spot? Like, how does that work? And at that point, it's just too late, right? So it's just not worth the gamble.
Yeah. And have confirmation he is not graduating. So he would 100% need a waiver.
Yep.
Would be, I mean, I think he was a serviceable point guard. Kadari Richmond went down for them, and I think he played point guard during that time, but he averaged 7.5, 4.5, and 2.5 basically on the year, but I think he's very efficient defensively. So maybe that's part of what Penny's looking at, is a ball handler who can take care of the basketball, but then also just be a dog on the defensive end. So we'll see how that develops. Again, don't know, being a 2-time transfer, if you want to put a whole lot of eggs in that basket and go after that, but we'll see where that ends up. Other than that, it's very quiet still. You do have 16 days left for anyone. And TJ, we probably need to try to get some sort of list, because I don't know off the top of my head how many there are, but those that were dabbling in the NBA waters have until the 31st, I believe, to return to college. Now, I don't know exactly how the rules go, or if they're any different. I mean, I don't know if they would have had to have entered the portal by the 11th as well, or if because they entered the draft, they're still eligible to enter the portal if they withdraw from the draft. I don't know exactly how that works. I would assume they would have had to have entered and said, hey, right, I'm going to the draft, but maintaining college eligibility by the 11th, but not exactly positive on that ruling.
That's pretty much the only reason that ruling exists, is saying, hey, I'm going to enter the draft, but I also want to I want to enter the transfer portal and go to the draft while maintaining my eligibility. It's like the whole reason that rule exists.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that, because I know there are several guys who are testing waters, but we'll probably return to the college level. But Tej, we still got some spots we need to fill, so we'll keep waiting, we'll keep watching, and hopefully come I'd say before August, you got a full roster knocked down.
Yeah,
can't be waiting too late. I mean, even Penny said it himself. He wanted to go into the summer with a roster pretty much set, and I don't know if he meant school year calendar summer, or if he meant true solar summer. Because if that's it, then you got till June 21st before the summer solstice. You got a little over a month. But we're talking academic year. Summer starts like right now.
I mean, I'll say that Penny's statement of I want a full team before the summer makes perfect sense, because that also falls in line with when you have to withdraw from the draft. So in a scenario that he's looking at guys that have entered the draft, waiting to get their feedback, hear back on things, and then if they don't go drafted, those are the kind of the guys that I think Penny is looking at, right? I think we've gone this route of freshman. He doesn't love it, and then now we're kind of going back to adding some of those older guys. So in my opinion, I think that's probably who he's targeting more often this offseason than just standard transfers, or even relying on someone like Mikey to play big minutes.
He wants those NBA quality guys. All right, well, we'll
just
have
mature guys.
Well, not all NBA guys are mature. That one hits a little too close to home, I think. Oh, Ja, what are you doing? Whew. All right, Tej. Former Tiger related, Kendric Davis has played his way into a draft. He was not initially invited to the NBA draft combine, but played in, what was it? I guess the G League combine, I guess.
Yeah,
Is that
like
what it
the
was?
G League,
Kind of a G League combine tournament over the weekend.
G League
Um,
Elite, G League Elite Camp, I think is the technical name of it.
So played in a couple games out there over the weekend. Ended up averaging, I think it was like 12 and a half and 5.5. 12 and a half points, 5.5 assists in that in those couple of games out there, and played his way. I think they take 8 of the G League camp guys and extended invitations to the NBA combine. So KD out there maybe playing his way into the league.
Yep.
I mean, we said it's possible. He's a hooper, despite the size, despite the fragility. Might end up finding himself as like a backup point guard on somebody's roster. Little Tyus Jones action.
There are guys in the NBA that are small. There are guys in the NBA that are slight. There's even guys in the NBA that are both small and slight. So if your argument is he is too small, then that's kind of a dumb argument because we've seen small guys make it. If he's too slight, we've seen slight guys make it. So it's kind of a weak argument. And in terms of basketball, he's definitely talented, right? I think we have seen it time and time again.
One of the most talented.
SMU here, it's wild. Like he's got the skill set. The problem is he going to be able to put it together? Can he defend, right? Is he going to be a pesky enough defender? Because obviously he's not going to be able to, guard man on to some of the 6'6" guards that are out there.
Sure.
But to your point, I mean, he's got to be able to stick them, right?
He's got to be a gnat
in front of them. Yeah,
just be a gnat in their ear.
If he can do that and score his way on offense, which is like hella taxing on the body because that is a lot of energy out there, then he can easily find a professional career.
For sure. So wishing him all the best, and hopefully hopefully come next year we're watching KD suit up for somebody in the league.
Yeah, man.
All right, Tej. You think anything else basketball related? It's quiet.
It is quiet, and that's
here we are, middle of May. It's quiet.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could go through all the rumors that are out there. The Tyron Lawrence. Are you still going to get Sinago? Right? We've heard them all, and none of them look good. And it's interesting. It's surprising, honestly, because I think we have come to this mindset that Penny has always found a way just to make things happen. Like, just put it to the wayside. Just trust Penny; he'll figure it out, right? And that's kind of where I'm at. But also kind of getting a little tight because this time frame is not looking good, my man. It's not looking good. So he's got something up his sleeve, though. I'm convinced.
Let's hope. He's been pulling rabbits out his hat before. Let's hope there's more rabbits in that hat. All right, Tej, let's move on to football. Little transfer portal news in the football world as well. We had I mean, at least for me, unexpected, but kicker Georgia Southern originally committed. I think he signed. He did sign, right? Alex Raynor.
Oh, yeah.
Never made it to campus, was supposed to get here over the summer, but he has flipped to Kentucky. Big Blue Nation.
Yeah.
Is that another sign of NIL struggles, Tej? We're losing kickers to SEC teams. How much does a kicker make in NIL these days?
I don't know. I think if NIL was more of a thing, or maybe perhaps legal is the way I should word that, probably within the last 5 years, Alabama would be paying top dollar for a kicker, because how many times have we seen them struggle with a kicker?
Have been booty.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if they could fork out heavy cash and bring in a big time kicker. Not to say Raynor has just been incredible, but he's definitely been I'd say he's been pretty good. Yeah. And so Kentucky clearly has a need there. They pulled in a guy they think they had a connection with, and they were able to flip Raynor over to Big Blue Nation.
So I guess it makes more sense when we saw Tristan Vandenberg commit a couple of weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago. Seems like maybe the staff had a little bit of a
Heads up
inkling
on
that
it.
something may be brewing over there, but I don't know where to feel on Vandenberg.
Yeah, that's a
Doesn't
very fair
have a
statement.
ton of collegiate kicks. He was 3 of 3 on PATs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No stats last year. 0 of 1 on field goals from 2 years ago. He missed one between 30 and 39 yards. And then 2020, he was 2 of 6 on field goals and 12 of 13 on PATs. So, I mean, he's kicked some, but what is that? A total of 8 field goals over 4 years and a total of 19 PATs, I think. No,
Yeah.
16 PATs. I mean, that's just not a lot of kicking.
It's scary, honestly.
You
You
need
have
reps.
kicker. Yeah, you have one kicker on your roster, one real kicker who has attempted less than 10 field goals, and that's seemingly who you're going to roll into fall with, barring them bringing in someone else. I haven't heard they're reaching out to anyone else kicker wise. They do have a guy for next year's class, so maybe Vandenberg is just going to be their hangover until he gets here, but we'll see. It just seems weird because we've seen kickers go down before and you not having a backup plan and how that's worked out for you. So I would be shocked if they stuck with one, but I just haven't heard anything else so far.
Yeah, I mean, kicking has been such an issue the last several years that I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit worried about where we're sitting right now.
Sure.
Felt good, decently good with Raynor there, but I guess we'll have to see. Just got to believe in my guy, Vandenberg. Got a couple other transfers in, right? Got the commit from QB from Marshall.
Yeah. Cade Cunningham.
So Cade Cunningham. I think he was a redshirt freshman. Is that right? So I think originally was recruited by Cram. So a little bit of a connection there. And I think, TJ, you've talked about this. The staff, I think, wanted 4 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of another little insurance policy there. Heaven forbid something happens. And then also picked up a commitment from Colorado DB. Remind me his name?
It's another Tyron Taylor.
Tyron Taylor.
Yeah.
Who I believe is a safety. Is that correct?
He plays both. He technically went to Colorado to play corner. They had some injuries his freshman year, so he kind of bounced around. Mostly played nickel. So he's flexible. He can play either. At 6'2", he's got good size. He is a little thin, but it hasn't seemingly stopped him in the Pac-12. So
yeah, I mean, a taller guy. He'd played 21 games at Colorado, 11 last year and 10 the year before that. 20 solo tackles last year, had a pick, 3 deflections. So, I mean, he's seen time, gotten snaps at the collegiate level. So not a bad thing. That's 2 from Colorado now. I mean, I know that they've had 85 guys enter the portal, but we've gotten 2 with Austin Smith and then Tyron Taylor there.
Yeah, Taylor's someone I would actually
add a little depth to the secondary.
No, I actually think he is someone that could see the field in the fall. I think he is more likely to see the field than Austin Smith would be. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not real high on old Cowboy Smith, are you?
I don't have anything against him. I just think that he is just.
You don't like the 100% catch for a touchdown percentage?
That is impressive, and it's almost one of those things where
it's like Will's 100% from 3, which he said collegiately, which is not correct. Maybe in high school, or maybe it was JUCO. I don't know. Will, if you're listening, we're going to need you to confirm that, because at the University of Memphis, you were not 100% from 3.
He knows we can look that up. So, like, why even lie about it, Will?
I mean,
You know?
Will. Likes to lie. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But added a couple of guys in the portal here recently. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Would expect to maybe lose a couple more guys as we get into fall, just from a numbers perspective, probably. But all in all, added at least a DB that, TJ, you think could step in and have some sort of an impact, and then obviously a
Sure.
kicker that I think we've got no choice but to have an impact. And then we'll see kind of how Austin Smith fits in there at the tight end spot.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be interesting. It's always interesting heading into these the summers and the fall camps, because things will always change, right? It can get real wild. Like we could look up one day and Rock Taylor hits the portal, and someone else, Greg Rubin. I'm just making up names.
Why? What are you doing?
I'm just saying it. That's how
You're
the
going to
transfer
speak
portal
some
works,
of these
man.
things, and they listen to this show. They're going to think that you're telling them to hit the portal.
Or maybe they'll hit me up and say, "Hey, man, I'm all in." Hashtag all in.
Hashtag all in for AI.
We're using that one still.
What? Why not?
I think Rodriguez Clark, my man, Drig Clark came up with that.
Doesn't matter. For AI. Forever all in, baby. A couple of other fun things, TJ. It's May, and there's only one thing that May means collegiate football wise, and that is bowl projections, TJ.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Mike McMurphy came out today with the Action Network on his I think he calls it my never too early bowl projections. Did you see this? You read about this? Do you see
No,
these?
I have not heard of
Don't
this.
lie to
No,
me.
it does seem way, way, way early.
I'll give you a guess as to who he has in the G5 slot for the New Year's Six, which it's the Fiesta Bowl as he has it, playing Oregon. You got a guess? G5 slot?
This is not correct, and it shouldn't be correct, but I'll just say they put Tulane back in there.
He did. You are 100% correct, and it is 100% not happening. Yeah, you heard that here first. But he has Tulane repeating as the American champions, the G5 access, playing Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. Not happening. No. He does have our Tigs. You have a guess at what bowl he might have the Tigs in?
Fenway Bowl. I think that's what I said last year.
It is the Fenway Bowl, TJ.
Always
you are 2 for 2 on that. You're lying to me. You looked at that.
I swear to God, you can come look at my you can come look at my search history.
That's a little
definitely never seen
it.
Have
to do all that now. Fenway Bowl. You want to guess who he's got us playing? If you get this right, we're ending the podcast.
That's an AAC opponent.
ACC.
What did I, sorry.
We are the AAC.
Sorry. ACC. Middle of the road ACC. NC State.
I thought you were going to get it. Wake Forest.
Okay. I don't want to play them anymore.
I don't either. Gosh. The Action Network actually he's projected every bowl so far. By the way, he said his final. I don't know why he would lie about this, and it would be more impressive if it was his initial bowl projection list. But his final 2022 bowl projections finished with a 95% accuracy rate. He got 78 of 82 teams in the correct bowl, which does seem very wild. But the Action Network actually has lines on every one of these bowl games he's projected so far. They got us as an 8-point favorite over the Demon in Fenway.
Well, they did lose their quarterback. He's at Notre Dame now, so that kind of makes a difference.
For those of you who don't know, TJ's a big Notre Dame guy. He loved Rudy, and he just fell in love with the Fighting Irish. Big Rudy
It's
fan.
not even how that happened.
He was offsides. I mean, I could have gotten a sack too if I lined up and was offsides. Anyway, TJ, do we make the Fenway Bowl?
You just told me the dude was 95% accurate. To say
On
no
his
seems real dumb.
His last bowl projection of the year. I'm saying that's like you're in week 15
I
and
know,
he creates a bowl projection.
No, probably not.
You think we're worse than that?
No, I need to go back and look at the 2022 bowl games. I could probably give you an estimate on where I think we fall, but that's not real good for podcast TV. You know what I mean?
No, it's okay. You don't think we make the Fenway? I could see the Fenway Bowl. I could see us being like a 10-2, losing to Tulane in championship, making the Fenway Bowl. I could see it happening.
The Duluth Trading Cure Bowl, which is where UTSA went last year.
You literally just made a bowl up.
I wish I did. I wish I had, because that's a terrible bowl game. So,
well, we'll see. Brett with his never too early, which May 15th feels early, especially. I mean, not only to just project the Bulls, but to have lines on them is wild to me. But anyway, thought that was interesting. So we'll see where that's at. And then, Tej, another little bit of news popped out today with I think it was CBS Sports came out with their American Conference Football Coaches rankings. Did you see this? Did you read about this?
No, it was. So he talked about it in the Discord for a brief second, and then all I saw was that I saw who number 1 was, and I was like, done. I'm not reading this anymore. I couldn't tell you anything outside of
number 1 was. I only saw what Ryan was. Who was number 1?
Willie Fritz.
Oh my goodness. What is the whole thing just based off of last year's? Is that what it is?
100%. It has to be. Fight me. If you can find it some other way, I will fight you right here, right now.
I didn't realize that that's what it was. Anyway, so you only saw Willie. You didn't see, it's ranking 1 through 14 head coaches heading into the 2023 season. 2023 season. So you got Willie. Do you have a gander of where you think that Ryan's fallen on the list? I'll give you, he was 7th last year in the rankings.
Is it rude if I say 7 again? No, it's not going to be 7 because
you've lost some coaches.
Fickle's out, and Gus Bus is out.
But
I bet they were both ahead.
You did add a couple that weren't there previously that
I
think people would definitely put above.
Yeah,
our boy.
I would say Fickle was likely 1 or 2 last year. Trailer is going to move in, and he'll be top 3. I don't even remember who all we added. Like, who's all a coach wise? Like, I don't know who's at Charlotte.
So you added Jeff Trailer. You added Tom Herman.
Oh, Herman will be up there.
You added Kevin Wilson at Tulsa. Alex Golish.
Oh, that's a decent one for the
Mike
UT guy.
Lindgren. Eric Morris. Biff Poggi. Brian Newberry. Trent Dilfer. Where do you think Trent is on the list?
He should be at the very bottom.
He is. He's 14th out of 14.
Yeah, like, I don't care that you come in with this Elite 11 camp background and you may be able to pull a good quarterback. You've literally never coached. So there's nothing backing that you should be anything higher than anyone else.
Didn't he just have a powerhouse at Innsworth? Isn't that where he was? He's coached.
At the collegiate level, no. Has he?
No, but neither had Penny.
He probably came in at the bottom of the barrel as well.
All right, our boy is at 6th. He moves up 1 spot. The 5 in front, you got Mike Houston at ECU at number 5, who jumps up from 8th last year. So he leapfrogged Ryan. Rhett Lashley.
How did that work?
Who is at 4th, who leapfrogs Ryan as well. He was 9th last year. then you got Tom Herman at FAU at 3, Jeff Traylor, UTSA at 2. We've already mentioned our boy Willie Fritz at number 1, who was 5th last year, which that also seems, even going into last year, seemed very high because they were dog.
He was on his
2 years
deathbed.
ago. Yeah.
This dude went 4-8, 5-7, 7-6, 7-6, 6-6, 2-10, and then gets a 12-2 year, and they're like, you know what? He's the best.
They had him ranked 5th after that 2-10 year. Now he's number 1.
To me.
All right. Do you think?
Get the Rhett Lashley thing?
I know. Do you think that Ryan being 6th is a fair rating?
I mean, it's fair. I think that's probably fair. My only argument is, even if I were to move Willie Fritz off of 1, I still would put him ahead of Ryan, because Ryan really hasn't done anything, right? We've still been waiting on that growth. We've been waiting on getting over the hump, winning those games that you had on lock, and then kind of just slip through your hands, right? I think if he would have done that last year, Houston specifically,
if we'd won all
the
these one possession games, I think I saw it the other day, we'd lost like
12.
I can't remember off the top of my head however many conference games we've lost. It's been by an average of like 2.3 points or something. If all of those are the flip, is Ryan number 1 on this list?
Probably.
I think so too.
I don't know. I could see Tom Herman still being ahead of him, or Jeff Traylor.
I could see Traylor and Herman being ahead.
Herman just has a lot of wins.
Lashley in Houston, I think they're kind of a toss-up with Ryan, to be honest.
Yeah. Houston had a tough job kind of flipping ECU, but like, what are they going to be now without their quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I just struggle to think that they're going to be some powerhouse now.
Without their 10th year quarterback.
Yeah. Without Tim Tebow light.
Sure. All right. Well, here's to hoping that Ryan finds himself as number 1 on the 2024 AAC Coaches Ranking list. Because that means that we had a heck of a year and we went to the Fiesta Bowl.
Never say never, man.
I never will. All right, Tej. It's time to rank this Andy's Mint.
Got the last little bit left here.
It sounds like there's a mint in there. What was in there? What was that?
I accidentally knocked the top thingy off, which has caused me to cut my lip, and it's definitely been bleeding.
How did you knock it off?
I opened it like this, and it snapped off, and I was like, That's weird, man. I'm not going to lie.
It wasn't better than I anticipated, but it's still... No, I don't think that I will ever drink this again. And Memphis Made, I'm sorry. I probably will legitimately avoid this the rest of my life. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever drank.
No.
But I don't have any desire to purchase another one.
All right. So let's start with the can. I know where you're going to go with it.
I mean, we've already talked about it. They're all very similar. I will give them bonus points because it looks like an Andy's Mint wrapper with the green.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, just the green.
We
probably should not have been drinking this in the heat of the middle of May.
Probably true.
It's so meh. 5.1 bonus points because it's green. Yeah, it's green like the Andy's Mint.
Hey, that's better than previous Memphis Made cans for you.
I gave him a little bit of a bonus point because of the Andy's Mint.
You gave Rockbone a 5-1. That's from Memphis Made. I will say this, and I don't know. They spelled Andy's wrong. I don't know if that's like a licensing thing.
Probably.
I think the mints are ANDE, but
yeah, they are. And I'm sure Andy's probably a brewmaster at Memphis Made or something.
That makes sense. Not like punny like that.
I will also say I am a very we'll talk about the flavor. Go ahead with your can rating.
I am going to assume that this is probably a Christmas beer. And that plays into the green, white, and red coloring of it.
It does have a very Christmassy. Maybe we should have saved that one for July and done a little bit of a Christmas in July. What are we thinking?
Why July?
Christmas in July.
What do you mean? You can't just say the same statement and act like I'm supposed to know what that means.
You never
You mean
heard
like
of
Christmas in July?
You've never heard of
No.
Christmas in July?
No, what does that mean? Why not Christmas in June?
Because that's not
if
what it is. It's
December's in-
Christmas in July. I don't know what it stems from. I just know that
What
I
do
heard
you-
Christmas in July.
Okay, well, the halfway point to Christmas would be in June, would it not?
Wikipedia, Christmas in July. Christmas in the summer or Christmas in winter is second Christmas celebration held around the summer season, mainly during July. It focuses on the public to get in the mood of Christmas during the summer season, which is 5 to 6 months prior reaching December. I don't know.
All right.
It has something to do with the French opera, blah, blah, blah.
lost me
In the
for
story, a
sure.
group of children rehearses a Christmas song in July, to which a character responds, when you sing Christmas in July, you rush the season. I can't believe you've never heard Christmas in July. Whatever, it doesn't
No.
matter. What did you rate the can?
I'm going to say a 5.5. I'll give them bonus points for making it Christmas looking.
That feels so high.
It does, but I give them
I gotta
bonus
drink
points for-
water. This is
I've already done that several times. It was not good. I gave it 5.5. I also gave Rockbone a 5.5. And
so you're par for the
hey,
course.
hold on. No, because see, I gave II Captain a 4.8. You know what? I can't
But
look
II
back.
Captain had the whole SpongeBob thing.
I know, and I gave it lower. That's the problem.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm gonna stick to my gut. I shouldn't be able to look back on previous ratings because
you
that's
can't let
like
over ratings. We've
yeah, it
changed. We've
stands-
grown. Things have happened.
All right.
Go with your initial rating.
I'm gonna stick with 5.5. In terms of the beer itself, I do think this would be better in a glass probably than
And if it was like freezing cold
canned.
outside.
Or if the beer was freezing cold. Like if you made this pseudo a slushy, then like it'd be a little bit better.
I could get behind that. I will say I'm a very, very big fan of chocolate mint. Like mint chocolate chip ice cream is my favorite. I love Junior Mints. I love an Andy's Mint. What?
You love Junior Mints?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't like a Junior Mint?
I don't know if I've ever even had a Junior Mint.
How have you never had a Junior Mint?
How do they compare to the little mints you get when you leave the Pride of Italy?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Olive Garden. You know when you leave Olive Garden, they give you those little chocolate mints. How do they compare to that?
They're better than that.
Bold words, man.
I'm about to drive to your house and drop off.
No,
a
I
box of
swear, I
Junior
don't even
Mints
know
right
what
now.
I'm looking it up.
It's a little
Junior Mint?
circular chocolate with the creamy mint filling. You never seen Seinfeld where Kramer drops it? They're watching an open surgery and he drops a Junior Mint and it lands inside the patient. TJ,
40.
your life. I don't know how you've never had a Junior Mint. That's absurd. Anyway,
No.
I love
Are
chocolate
they
mint.
chewy?
They like melt in your mouth. I mean, you can't.
Not in your
It's
hand?
like a. Think of this. It's like a chocolate mint gusher.
Are you trying to sell
What?
me on it?
It's delicious. Having said that, I will never drink this beer again.
Yeah, and that's a nice way of putting it. It's fine.
One
It's
was
a
too
novelty
much.
beer, man. It's
I
a novelty
probably-
beer.
I could have 6 ounces would have, nay, 3 ounces would have sufficed. 12 was pushing it. I'm surprised that I finished this.
So what are you gonna rate it?
$3.2. What?
3.2?
I mean, TJ, I don't.
You can go to the pantry and grab some hops and just boil them and throw in some yeast and maybe like a
throw
soda
in
water.
some junior mints, and it would probably.
Unbelievable.
It's also probably not helpful that it got a little bit warm as well.
Unbelievable. A 3.2? Wow. Yeah. That far under a 5, huh?
I'm sticking with it.
All right.
Honestly, I don't think unless you were to create this as a slushy, then I may try it again. Other than that,
no. All right. It's a novelty beer. That's the way I kind of look at this. I would definitely never have 2 of them. You just buy it and you try it. I once bought a pickle beer and it smacked me in the face on every. No, it was not delicious. It was not. It was a sour.
Pickle.
It tasted like
Speaking
pickle juice.
of pickle,
it was awful.
If you have not been to Pickles in Seaside, Florida, they have a pickle Rita, and it is divine.
Disgusting.
It was call them because me and those officers will enjoy a couple pickle Ritas together.
You're lucky this is not a food podcast because, like, honestly, I'd have to report you. You're on some list somewhere.
Why? Because I
pickle
like pickles.
Margaritas.
It's a pickle Rita, not a pickle margarita.
Anyway, going back to the beer. I couldn't have more of them. It wasn't that great. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go a 4.3. I really just wanted to hose you because you said a 3.2, but it was not very good. It wasn't bad. It's just not good at the same time.
Well, 3.2 might have been a little bit.
It's out there for somebody.
Low. But
Kenny would give it a 10.
I don't know. We might have to get him to taste this just to get a rating because I don't know that he could. All right. What was your final rating? 5.5?
No, a 4. I gave it the can a 5.5 and the beer a 4.3.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sorry, Memphis made. It's a great idea, I guess, in theory. It didn't do it for me. Nothing personal.
I think
we'll try again next week. Not again, but we will try a new beer.
To their credit, it was probably supposed to be a winter beer, and here we are drinking it.
Yeah, I just looked it up. They announced it on December 29th, I think, is when they're like, "Hey, we got a new beer for the new year." But to our defense, I went to the liquor store that allows you to create your own 6-pack, like you told me to.
Yeah.
And they had this ready to rock and roll as if it was fresh. So I grabbed one because being a chocolate mint fan, I thought, that's intriguing. I bet that could be kind of good. And now I know. That's why that they were still sitting there in May when they came out in December.
We need to I'm going to email the folks over at Memphis Made and be like, hey, man, we keep striking out on your beers. What do you got? What's good over there? I want them to spoon feed me. So, you know what?
Email Andy.
I say that. We have had one of theirs, which was actually pretty good. We had that.
I don't remember.
It can always suck, but I think we liked the beer. Prince Mango. Remember that one?
They have a couple that we like. We just haven't done them yet.
We'll see. I'll email. Seriously, I'm going to email them, and we won't do it next week because I don't want to do the same brewery back to back. But I'll see what they tell us. We'll see if we can find something new there.
All right. We'll tune in next week for. We're going to give Memphis Made another shot. So come with the cold beer and stay for the hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.